Welcome back to ANPS channel. Welcome to part 3 of Mineral and Power Resource. In our previous sessions, we have got mineral resources as well as its concentration, what is ore, what is mineralogy, and what is metallic minerals and non-metallic. We have got, as per metallic wise, we have two sections, ferrous and non-ferrous, and non-metallic side we have got the mineral's name and also the tree wise also. We have got extraction of minerals and few things which is from in it, like mining, shaft minings, deep minings, open pit minings, as well as drilling and quarrying, and explanation of all of that. Extraction of minerals trees, distribution of mineral resource in all around the world along map side also, as well as we have seen that all our continents have many types of mineral concentration, and in India which type of mineral concentrations are there we have also found in our previous session. Today I will start from here. Power resources. Now what is power resources? The development of economy depend upon the power resources it is possesses. Power resources also provide energy to perform other important work. Power is required in agriculture as well as in industrial sector. Heavy machines work on regular supply of power. The main source of power are coal, petroleum, and the natural gas as well. The other sources are nuclear energy, solar energy, wind energy, and tidal energy. So the power resources are classified basically into two parts. Here you can see like conventional and non-conventional. Okay. After whole explanation of these two, I will move on to the differentiation part. Okay students, so here what basically power resources wants to say, the development of country, either it's developing or it's developed. Power resource basically it possesses when the energy to perform other important work. Power is required when agriculture as well as many industrial sector, and also we can say the tertiary sector as well. So in that sense, regular supply of power, the main sources of power basically depends on fuel, like here coal, petroleum, and natural gas. On the other side, if we are talking about some renewable resources like nuclear energy as well as solar energy, wind energy, and tidal energy, these are also. So here we have to look out what is conventional and what is non-conventional. So let's see what is conventional power resources or power sources. So here these are the non-renewable resources, as they take thousands of years to form. They are just right hand side, you can see the image, firewood and coal. So basically they are traditional because we are used to it, that's why. So they are also called traditional resources. Fossils fuels are formed within the earth form. Fuels are formed within the earth from the remain of dead plants and animals. These remains of dead plants and animals and these fuels are limited and may become exhausted. fuels are limited and may become exhausted if we used without planning. Yes, if we used it as per our greed wise, not thinking about the concept of sustainable development wise, right? So coal, petroleum and natural gas are examples of fossils and fuels. So basically it is the traditional resource. Now if we move on to the firewood, it is most common form of energy which has been used since a long time in past, although it has been replaced as a source of energy, but it is still used in villages and by people in urban areas who cannot afford modern means. We get wood from the trees, hence using these power sources, meaning cutting off trees and burning them means pollution of air, as well as we can generate also, or we kind of provoking our generation to do deforestation thing, which is kind of not very grateful idea here. So because this is kind of primitive and traditional resource, that's why it's included in conventional power resources. Okay, now next we move on to the coal. Here right hand side you can already see, students, the coal mines image, right? So where the theory part say, this is coal, this is the most commonly found fuel. It is also abundantly used as a domestic fuel and in the industries as well, iron and steel basically. So steam engine, and to generate electricity, thermal power is electricity made from coal. The coal that we use today is formed from plants and animals buried millions of years ago. It is found in China, USA, Germany, Russia, South Africa and France. The coal concentration of particularly that area is kind of great. There are 4 types of coal. In India, coal is found at Raniganj, Jhadia, Dhanbad, Bokaro mines, basically in Jharkhand. Raniganj basically included part in West Bengal, and Jhadia, Dhanbad, Bokaro, this is from the Jharkhand side, right? Basically we all knew that coal basically developing through the undergone layers of sedimentary rocks. So in that way also it can use today is formed from plants and animals fossils which buried and million years ago. Like if I'm saying one era name like Cretaceous and kind of Pleistocene era, there is kind of a geological time scale. So in that particular era, coal already found in China, USA, Germany, Russia and South Africa as well as in France. So basically it is a kind of a quantity wise, like we all knew that coal has a 4 side. If I'm saying that coal has 4 side, right? I can just show you here. Like we all know that coal classification, right? One is lignite, one is anthracite first. One is first anthracite. anthracite. Second is bituminous. Third is lignite. And fourth is peat. Basically, it's totally depend upon if we are saying about the carbon concentration. The carbon concentration, if we are saying that carbon concentration is greater in anthracite portion. Okay, this is kind of great. Great. Okay, like around 80 to 90%. If we are saying in bituminous, then bituminous have up to 75 or 65 to 75%, lignite less than that, and peat also 20 to 30%. So on that basis, the amount of anthracite and bituminous rocks basically found in that particular places like China, USA, Germany, Russia. Basically the time is hugely taking when its carbon concentrations happen. Okay, now if we move on to the petroleum thing, it is a very important fuel as it is keeps the vehicles moving, and petroleum is found between the layers of rocks. It recovered mostly through oil drilling. It is then transported to the refineries where it is proceed to give a variety of products like diesels, petrols, kerosenes, wax, plastics and lubricants as well. The countries where petroleum found, basically we all know that South Arabian countries like Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia and Qatar. In India, it is found in Digboi in Assam, Bombay High in Mumbai, which is also renewedly named as Sagar Samrat, and deltas of Krishna and Godavari river. Petroleum, its derivatives are called black gold because of their importance, because it's kind of value. We all knew that gold is kind of much valuable metal than any other kinds of metal. That's why people saying that the necessity in our life, petrol, that's why people saying that it is a black gold. We all knew that for transportation purpose we need it, and also we use basically purifying petroleum thing like many petroleum jellies as well, diesel, petrol, kerosene, wax, plastics and many types of lubricants also. Now hydroelectric power. You can see the image in right hand side. When it's come to the hydroelectric power, it's totally depend upon dams and the velocity of the water, right? The force of flowing water has been harnessed since long for grinding grains and for generating hydroelectric, and hydroelectricity power is produced as water passes through a dam. It is clean, non-polluting source which gives electricity at a much cheaper rate than by the sources. Many countries are sustaining on hydroelectricity. In India, it is developed and generated by several plants like Bakra Nangal project as well as DVC, Damodar Valley Corporation projects, Hirakund projects, Jog Falls projects and Nagarjun Sagar as well. Okay, so basically what hydroelectric power, in which way it generates, the forces of flowing water, which I have already told you that it depends on the velocity of the water. So in that sense, the produce as the water passes through the dam, and it's have some turbine. When it's kind of turbulent through the velocity of the water, it's kind of creating electricity. So in that much cheaper rate than by any other sources. Yes, water or if I'm saying that hydroelectric power is kind of a much more eco-friendly than any other fossil fuel types things, right? So many countries sustaining the hydroelectricity in India. Basically nowadays, if you go in a Punjab, you can see the Bhakra Nangal, and in our area West Bengal as well as basically Durgapur, Asansol, basically in our area totally depend upon the DVC project work, like Damodar Valley Corporation. Now also there are many projects and hydroelectrical power projects like in India. They basically it's famous Hirakund, Jog Falls and Nagarjun Sagar. Now when it's come to the natural gas, it's totally kind of depends upon like few things, like in a petroleum and oil purpose, like it occur with petroleum and released upon crude oil coming to surface. At major producing in countries are Russia, Norway, UK and Netherlands. In India, it's also found offshore oil fields of Mumbai, Jaisalmer, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha. It is used in domestic as well as in industrial sectors. It is transported by pipelines and it's being consumed at an alarming rate, and pollutants are released from burning these fuels. Basically we already have some CNG autos are there, so basically they use this natural gas. When it's occur with the petroleum and releasing upon the crude oil coming to the surface. So nowadays it's kind of very short amounts people and scientists are saying in greater depth of ground. So in that sense, countries are Russia, Norway and Netherlands. They have kind of potential technology as well as the development technology, so they are using it. Nowadays India kind of achieving greater point of view on that also. So that's way offshores of oil fields and Mumbai and Jaisalmer, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Odisha also kind of get succeeded to receiving it. Okay, so that is for all today, students. In this sections we have got the power resource. What is basically power resource? Now power resource segment, conventional and non-conventional. Why we say it's traditional? Conventional is basically the traditionals because it is primitive and it is kind of not having so much money cost, that's why. And it's have coal, petroleum and hydroelectric power, natural gas also. Next segments I will start the non-conventional power resource. So till then, see you too soon. Stay safe. Thank you.